Hello and welcome back to Comic Vantage. Now today we have our preview spotlight. If you don't know what previews is, here's a quick look at the cover. This is our previews guide. And the previews book is the book that your local comic book store uses to order all of their books for the month. Now, this is the March catalog, which solicits comics coming out May of 2019. So I'm going to give you a quick look through it and show you what I think is going to be interesting, what might be a little hot, little spec, fun stories, stuff like that. So, like every month, we're going to start with DC. And DC is bringing us their previews guide, and they're starting it off right away with Year of the Villain. The event begins with a special priced 25-cent issue. So that actually sounds like a lot of fun. DC is promising some big stories with their villains this month, and it looks really, really cool. All right, changing focus here. The next book looks really interesting. It's the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, and this is issue number 1 that is coming out in May. And again, the Batman Ninja Turtle stories have actually been a lot of fun. We have James Tynion coming back with writing, Freddie Williams coming back with artwork. We're going to have a Kevin Eastman variant cover, which they do not show here, but that should prove to be a lot of fun. Next book, Batman, Last Night on Earth. And this is a Scott Snyder, Greg Capullo book coming out. Variant cover by Jock. Bruce Wayne wakes up in Arkham Asylum, young, sane, and he was never Batman. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. This is coming out under the Black Label imprint, so expect some mature themes on this one. That cover looks really cool, and look at that. I think that's the Joker's head in a lantern, and don't know what's going on there, but wow, that looks amazing. All right, back to our Year of the Villain. And what we got? We have a bunch of variant covers coming out for Year of the Villain. We have the Cheetah variant. This is probably going to be the big one. Could say 1 in 100 Art Germ variant. That'll be the one to look out for. Oh, actually, Lex Luthor's 1 in 250, and the Batman Who Laughs by Jim Chung, I think that probably will be the big one, is 1 in 500. Insane. Your retailer has to order 500 copies of this book to get that cover. Just crazy. Next book coming out in May, Deceased, number 1. A mysterious technovirus has been released on Earth, infecting 600 million people, turning them into violent, monstrous engines of destruction. That sounds like 28 Days Later, but hey, you know, it still sounds like it might be a lot of fun. Here's the cool covers coming out for Deceased. We have this Matina cover and this awesome, they call this the horror cover. You'll Die Too. I love that. Good old It throwback there. All right, what else do we got coming out here? Oh, yeah, look at this. Batman and the Outsiders, art by Dexter Soy. He's coming back, doing a monthly book. Excited for that. Love that man's artwork. Also, we have Aquaman 48. Now, the reason I'm spotlighting this book is because of this awesome Joshua Middleton variant cover. Wow, that's so neat. Looks really, really cool. I'm digging that. And then we have a Batgirl 35, again, with another Joshua Middleton variant cover. It looks like he has 3 or 4 covers this month. Man, the guy is just knocking it out of the park, though. His artwork is absolutely amazing. Detective Comics 1003. Yes, 1003. This actually looks really good. Now, again, I'm spotlighting this because of the cover. We have this beautiful Mark Brooks variant cover. Mark Brooks does some awesome, awesome work. Now, what's really neat about this is that we have issue number 1003, and then 2 weeks later, we have 1004 with the connecting side of that variant cover. So you need both books to get this awesome connecting variant. It looks amazing. Absolutely love that. Oh, Doomsday Clock number 11. Here's another good one that looks like it's really going to start kicking it up here. Only one more book left after this. It's about time. This story was supposed to end, this is May? Wow, this book should have ended like 6 months before this. Anyway, this is the truth behind why Rebirth happened. So that's going to be really cool to find out. And Batman searches for the one person who believes he can help save the world, Rorschach. Now, we know from this series, Rorschach is a lunatic. And Batman threw him in Arkham Asylum, so this should be fun to read. Justice League number 24. I am not a big Justice League reader, but I saw this cover and I was really wigged out and I thought it was absolutely amazing. And I think I need to buy that just for that cover. This book's going to be a total cover grab. So anyway, that is our DC book for the month. Not a huge showing from DC, but still, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, pardon that rough cut there, but apparently my computer decided to eat the second part of this video, so I have to reshoot the whole thing. Let's see if I can recapture some of that magic. So the second part of this video was the Marvel's portion of the previous catalog. Now, it looks like what Marvel has in store for May is a whole bunch of the War of the Realms. This is their giant crossover for the year, with, you know, takes up everything. And actually, I thought this was kind of cool too. Savage Avengers #1. That looks really neat. I'd love to see Conan come into the normal Marvel Universe here. We got Venom and Wolverine, so we'll get back to that in a second. Yeah, look at these awesome variant covers. This one here I thought was particularly interesting. This is a Mobius variant cover there with Elektra on it. Just beautiful. Guy does some awesome work. And like I said, the rest of the month we have a whole bunch of War of the Realms. War of the Realms 3 of 6. And if you don't know what War of the Realms is, I did cover it in my last video. It is where Malekith comes, he already conquered all the realms, and like I think he's a dark elf or a giant or something. And the last bastion of hope is Earth, and this is where all their defenders get together. And here is all of the crossover books for the War of the Realms for the month. There is a lot. And of course, a bunch are going to have a ton of variant covers because, you know, that's what Marvel does. Cool. Art Adams artwork there. Man, you can just tell Art Adams' work just by looking at it. Don't even have to have his name signed to it, although he does right there down on the bottom. What else do we got here? Strikeforce Teen. There's a lot of #1s coming out this month. We have the Strikeforce, the Dark Elf Realm. We got this whole group going into the Dark Elf Realm. The next Strikeforce is the War Avengers. And it's another one, the Land of the Giants. It's great seeing these weird little team-ups that are going to be happening. And then Spider-Man and the League of the Realms, issues #1 and 2 come out in May. And I believe we have some first appearances coming up here. Let's see, where are we? The Punisher, he's also involved. Here we go, featuring New Agents of Atlas 1 and 2, featuring Marvel's newest heroes, Wave, Arrow, and Swordmaster. So there we go. I don't know if this is actually the first appearance of these characters, but there really seems like they're leading towards that. Anyway, might be kind of cool. So if everybody's interested in, you know, early appearances, there you go. Jump on that. New Agents of Atlas. Let's see, what else we got here? Journey in the Mystery, issue #2 of 3. More Journey into Mystery. Matt Rosenberg here, Uncanny X-Men. I like Rosenberg writing. He writes some really cool stories, especially some of his indie work that he's done. Even Venom's getting in on it. But this Venom, ooh, this #14 has this awesome Battle Lines variant cover by Max Lim. If I'm not mistaken, Max Lim has 3 or 4 different covers coming out for the month here. So that's very cool. Really, that's going to be a huge cover grab right there. Giant Man 1 and 2. As Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, these are all War of the... Here's another Max Lim. Beautiful work. I'm sure they're going to sell well just for those covers. We have a lot of Battle Lines variants coming out. And of course, we have a good old Alex Ross cover here. Even Squirrel Girl and Moon Girl are getting in on the War of the Realms stories. Man, there's a lot of books. Holy God. Iron Man #12, 2020 approaches. Still don't know what this is, but it should be interesting to find out. Wow, we even have a Blade Max Lim variant. And that's going on Avengers 19, apparently. So, interesting. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Oh, here's one that I thought was really cool. Look at this. All new next issue to the original Marvel Star Wars series. Yes, Star Wars issue number 108. Are you kidding me? Okay, the original Marvel Star Wars series ended in 1986 with issue 107, and they are picking up the story right where they left off. This is going to be absolutely amazing. We have a remastered variant cover coming out, and there's a whole bunch of other covers. We got Michael Golden, we have Carmine Infantino. I mean, we have a lot of really cool covers coming out. Oh, also a blank cover available. So this should be really neat. I'm excited to see what they do with this story. Should be a lot of fun. The Marvel Star Wars universe back in the day, they created some really interesting characters and had some interesting storylines, so it should be a lot of fun. And the last book for Marvel that I want to show for this month. Now, nothing in particular for this except for that cover. Wow, will you look? I'm going to buy it just for that. This is going to be an absolute cover grab if I wasn't already buying X-23. I love the character. This is just beautiful. Man, I absolutely adore that cover. All right, so that's it for Marvel for the month. And the last catalog on the list is the Big Book. Now, the Big Book encompasses everything else that is not Marvel or DC. So all of your independent publishers are in the big one here. Now, they always put a lot of fluff and stuff in the beginning. So we're going to skip right to page 54, which starts us off at Image Comics. And Image Comics is bringing us this, and Previews actually gives us their Gem of the Month award. And this is a book called Excellence, where Spencer Dales was born into a world of magic. His father belongs to the Aegis, a secret society of black magicians ordered by their unseen masters to better the lives of others. This actually sounds like a lot of fun. Previews is spotlighting it is really great. A lot of the cool indie stuff has been coming out of Image lately. It's kind of weird. A lot of people consider Image almost as mainstream because of some of their books, but wow, really, they are third in line. They are still an independent publisher with a lot of these smaller titles. So I think that's the only thing from Image this for May that looks interesting. Oh, actually, we're going to jump right ahead also to the Die Volume 1 trade paperback. Now, this is a book I spotlighted months back. I told everybody to buy it, and wow, you guys should have listened to me, because if you haven't seen it lately, issue number 1, the regular cover and the standard variant cover have both shot up in price. They're selling for about 10 to 15 bucks a piece now, and the Virgin variant is fetching right around 50 bucks for this cover, or for this book. And it's an absolutely amazing story, and that's really what's selling this book right now. So if you haven't read it yet and you don't want to go back and pay those prices now for the issues that you missed, here's the trade coming out in May. It's going to be collecting issues number 1 through 5. All right, what else do we got here? Next up, we're jumping right into Dark Horse Comics, and they are bringing us this really cool story, Stranger Things number 1, and this is 6. So this is one of the government experiments, or one of the psychics that the government has, and her name is 6. You know, like we know 11 from the Stranger Things TV series. She sees the future, so this looks like it could be a really, really good story, especially if you want to dive into some of the backstory and the lore behind Stranger Things. This looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Also out of Dark Horse Comics, we have Aliens Rescue, which almost continues the story of Aliens Resistance, where Ripley rescued Alec Brand, who is now he's now a colonial marine and going on his own rescue mission. So this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, look at that. Variant cover by Mac Chatter. Beautiful. If you don't know who Mac Chatter is, I believe this is the guy who's been doing a lot of the artwork, or at least the covers for Sword Daughter. Also from Dark Horse Comics, which is really, really good. Everybody should be reading that as well. And then we also have Beast of Burden, The Presence of Others. Now, this is an Evan Dorkin story. If you haven't read anything Evan Dorkin, he's a great writer. Man, this guy really came to prominence back in the 90s with Milk and Cheese. If you haven't read Milk and Cheese, it's a blast. And here's a continuing story of his Beast of Burden. Let's see, what else have we got? Oh, looks like I lost my page. Where am I? Oh, I just wanted to show this. I thought they were cool. A Hellboy Deluxe Flask Set. And a Game of Thrones, the Iron Throne business card holder, what everyone should have on their desk. Now, that is amazing. So yeah, make sure you pick that up as well. And then we jump ahead to, I believe this is IDW who's putting this out. And this is a book called, it's actually a graphic novel. I believe it's 20 bucks, and it's going to be released in July. co-written by George Takei, and it's loosely based on his own story in a Japanese internment camp during World War II when he was a child. The book is called They Called Us Enemy, and it looks really neat. Great cover, and the artwork is very manga-ish, but I think it'd be fitting of a story like this. It looks like it's going to be really cool. Great look into history as well. Oh, and here's something else coming out from IDW. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 35th Anniversary Box Set. Yes, people, how old do you feel now? 35 years since the creation of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is going to be a box set which gives us the very first 4 issues of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle series, plus the Raphael Micro Series, all in their original dimensions. Now, if you guys have never held a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comic book in your life, it is big. They are almost magazine size. In fact, when you get them graded by CGC, they have to go through the magazine tier because they do not fit in a normal slab. So instead of paying the 18 bucks to get them graded, you pay, I don't know, 30 or whatever it is. Great story behind that. If you guys ever meet Kevin Eastman, make sure you tell him to tell you the story of why the books came out like that. It's rather interesting. I don't want to ruin it for you. And what else do we got? Here, this is another one that's coming out, and this is also from IDW, and they certify it cool. And this is Road of Bones, and this takes place in 1953 Siberian Gulag. And it's a bunch of Russians who are escaping, and they see weird things. This almost fairy tale-like creature supposed to be helping them, and they don't know if it's them or if they're just plain going insane. So that looks really cool. Oh, and then this awesome Bram Stoker's Dracula reprint from Roy Thomas and Mike Mignola. Got some Winona Earp coming back from IDW, so that's a lot of fun as well. IDW has some great books. And then this, this just looks like fun. Betty and Veronica meet Red Sonja and Vampirella. Yes, that's right. Vampirella and Red Sonja head to Riverdale. I don't know what's happening there, but there are some really cool variant covers that might be worth picking up. And Dynamite Comics has been putting out some really cool stories. We also have some blank covers with remarks straight from the publisher. So we have $90 remarks, we have $200 remarks, so those could be a lot of fun as well. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Altered Carbon. This actually looked rather interesting. This is the Download Blues. It's an original story by Richard Morgan set in the world of Altered Carbon. So if you enjoyed that Netflix series, this one's a definite must pick up. And I enjoyed the Altered Carbon world. It was really, really cool. All right. Now, I normally don't show issue 2s on a lot of these unless they're really good stories, but this one I had to show. This is Betty Page, and this is her Unbound issue number 2. Now, the reason I'm showing this is because of this Vampirella cover. Now, if you're a completist, issue 1 had a really awesome Red Sonja cover where she was dressed as Red Sonja, and I thought this might be like a matching thing. So for completists out there, you got to grab issue number 2 as well. And then we come to Red Sonja. Now, I haven't been reading this story, so I don't know how good it is, but I saw this Amanda Connor cover, and wow, I just thought it was absolutely beautiful. It's probably some of the best work I've ever seen her do, and I'm going to buy this book just for that. It is a total cover grab right there. Man, amazing artwork on that one. Now we jump ahead to Abstract Studios, and that brings us to a series called 5 Years, brought to us by Terry Moore. Now, 5 Years is going to be combining the entire Terry Moore universe into one book, and I'm assuming it's supposed to span over 5 years. Now, if you've never read anything Terry Moore, he's written some amazing comic books. Strangers in Paradise, which has had a huge successful run. Strangers in Paradise is one of the best written stories ever. He's done Motor Girl, Echo, Rachel Rising, and they all take place right here in this one book. They are coming together, so that is going to be a lot of fun on that one. And now we're over to Aftershock, and this sounded kind of interesting as well. Aftershock is bringing us a new book called Killer Groove. In 1970s Los Angeles, Johnny is one of the thousands of musicians trying to make it big while working a crummy bar job and getting drunk with his whiskey-soaked PI friend Jackie. And he gets tangled up with the mob, and it sounds like anything, you know, kind of cool story. So this really piqued my interest. I'm a huge fan of almost anything Aftershock has put out. They put out some absolutely amazing stories. They haven't let us down, so this looks to be pretty cool. Here we have some interior shots. We have the incentive cover, and again, great artwork. We're not seeing a lot of the dialogue, but they've always been really well-written stories, so I'm going to take a chance on it. Same with this one here. Descendant number 1. And Aftershock is actually... Oh no, Diamond is featuring this themselves. Conspiracy theories and government corruption. It all sounds really awesome. Another one everybody should be getting to read. Now we are going to bounce ahead here. Oh, we are in... What company are we in? Wow, I can't remember what this is. Oh, Amigo Comics? No. What are you? I don't know. I am lost. Anyway, I saw this book, Straight Jacket, The Feeding. I saw this cover, and I'm like, sweet Jesus, I need this book just for that cover. Oh, this is Amigo Comics. Man, I have no idea what this book is about, but it makes me want to go back and grab the entire series, and I think I might do that. And then, ooh. Actually, if we are 3 months back, the new first issue of this should be coming out any time now. So I think I will start getting that on a pull somewhere. And next up, Antarctic Press. Antarctic Press has been on fire recently with a lot of their books. Punchline is one example. Now they are bringing us a new horror series just straight up called Horror Comics. And this sounds really cool. We have a blank variant cover, and we have the special Teether variant cover. Now, if you haven't read Teether from Antarctic Press, hunt it down, especially this amazing, amazing X-Men homage cover that you have to have. It's a great, great series. So, yes, there we go. In a small town near Miami, Florida, Thomas Wright, the local ice cream man, serves up sweet, delicious new ice cream flavors he makes himself from the flesh of his murder victims. I mean... You cannot go wrong with that, especially if you're a fan of horror comics. And then we come back to Aspen. And Aspen, we all know, Michael Turner, Aspen, right there, Fathom, synonymous, and we have the return of Fathom. Flagship title returns with an issue number 1, starting a whole new story arc for Fathom. So that should be a lot of fun. Everybody needs to be grabbing that. We have some great, great covers coming out. Oh, Michael Turner B cover. Just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, if you're a Fathom fan, definitely jump on it. I see big things coming. All right, next up, we have spotlights on Wailing Blade, and this is Comics Tribe. This just really stuck out to me, and this is a staff pick for Diamond, so this could be a lot of fun. And this is the Head Taker, feared executioner and wielder of the legendary Wailing Blade, kills every man who meets his gaze, and right now he's looking for Tychon, an upstart bandit prince fighting to save his father from the chopping block. That sounds like a really cool story. I'm excited for that. It's got a great cover which really grabs your attention. It looks like we have a silver cover and a gold foil cover. So what are we looking at? $5 a piece for those. It's actually not bad. Now, this is a book that's been garnering some attention lately, and this is Alexandria, Ocasio, Cortez, and the Freshman Force. Yes, this is a new book coming out from Devil's Due. It is about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They're turning her into a superhero, which is kind of interesting. Now, why this is making news, this book in particular, there's a Warrior variant cover that is fetching between $40 and $85 on eBay right now for a pre-sale. This book doesn't come out for several months. Now I'm here to tell you, do not buy that book on eBay. Devil's Due has it direct on their website currently. Right here they are. The two, well, here's the normal cover and then the Warrior variant cover. The Warrior variant cover is $10. $10 $10. Do not pay the $40 to $85 you find it for on eBay. Or you can get a signed copy for $15. Signed copy, $15. They also sell 5-packs and 10-packs of this book to make it even cheaper for you. I believe if you buy a 10-pack, it's like $80 or $85 for the books. So there you go. Do not pay what they are asking for on eBay. Go direct to Devil's Due. And that's also a lesson for everyone out there. If you're not familiar with indie books, a lot of the time, these indie publishers will have their own website set up where they'll be selling their books directly. Alterna Comics. Alterna's been really hot lately. They have their own Etsy shop set up where you can go to Etsy and buy Alterna comic books, like huge #1 packs and things like that. So always look for a direct channel to the independent publisher before you go to eBay and pay some of these crazy, crazy prices. Okay, next up. This book looked really cool. Now, this is Drawing Blood. And this is a semi-autobiographical account of the life of Kevin Eastman. And here it is. The completely fictional true story of Shane Books Bookman. Once upon a time, Books co-created the radically rearranged Ronin Ragdolls, a little gritty comic that went on to become a billion-dollar franchise. Now, years later, the partnership over, the corporate buyout spent, Books is struggling to recover from the hit-and-run driver called success. Now, if you didn't know, Kevin Eastman actually does not own the rights to the Turtles at all anymore. They're actually completely owned by Mirage Studios, so I believe this really happened to him. And it looks like it's going to be a great read. 35 years after Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman returns to self-publishing. It sounds like it's going to be a great, great story. Now, this is Drawing Blood, Spilt Ink #1 that is coming out. And then there's also a comic book inside with the radically rearranged Ronin Ragdolls, which looks kind of cool as well. Oh, it's actually a 32-page one-shot, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, I think that's going to be awesome. And next up, for all of you fans of Rick and Morty out there, Oni Press is bringing us Rick and Morty #50. Huge, huge, huge event for Rick and Morty fans. We have some connecting covers coming out, and they are re-releasing issues #1 through 5 with a giant line of connecting covers where they all merge together and make one cool picture. So that's a lot of blast. It should be a huge blast and a lot of fun for all your Rick and Morty fans out there. And where am I here? Oh, we have a bunch of really cool books coming out from Scout Comics, another company that's small press, coming out of nowhere, putting out great stories. Now, here is a book called Category 0 that I thought sounded really, really interesting. Earth's entire population has become infected with an airborne virus, but only 1% have the specific gene required to activate it. These individuals begin to develop unusual abilities due to the rare gene. Really, really cool. It sounds kind of neat. I'm really excited to read that. Everything that's coming out of Scout Comics that I've picked up has just been well written, well drawn, and just a lot of fun. Now we are down to Valiant Comics. And Valiant, this month, this is the big book I wanted to spotlight, and this is Fallen World #1. In the year 4002, a cyborg samurai named Rai struggles to find his mortality while the nanite-filled super soldier Bloodshot is on a mission to save the citizens of Earth. Adam Polina returning, doing artwork. I love Adam Polina artwork. I'm so glad he's back doing this. He was out of the comic book game for a while, doing his whole dandy comb thing, so this should be really cool. I loved his work from way back in... actually, this is a John Boy cover right here. This is the John Boy Myers A cover. Let's see, where are our other covers? Here's the other variants for the month. So yes, anyway, Adam Polina, loved his artwork. His run on X-Force back in the 90s, wow, blown away. I still own it. Absolutely love that book. Okay, and I think our last book for the month is She Said Destroy from Vault Comics. Again, another small company, came out of nowhere, putting out some really great books. Guys, if you want amazing stories and you're tired of mainstream just kind of gouging you with variants and everything else they do just to get a couple bucks out of you, look to independent comics. Indie books are where the great stories are at. She Said Destroy. Over a millennia, Bridget, goddess of the sun, has conquered and converted the entire solar system into worshiping her and her alone, save one space colony. The Witches of Fae are the last believers of the Morrigan, goddess of death, Brigid's sister, and the only other god left. This sounds amazing. Seriously, god-on-god battle. You have some mysticism, and it just really sounds cool. We have some great covers going on here, some beautiful artwork. I'm very excited for this. So, anyway, guys, that's our preview spotlight. That is our March 2019 catalog for books coming out May 2019. Like always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the likes, the thumbs up, the subscriptions. You guys are amazing. Seriously, I wouldn't be here without you. And if you're new to the channel, hit that little CV down in the lower right-hand corner and the bell up top to let you know when I have the cool stuff coming out. And like always, guys, thank you for watching, and take it easy.